you one thing, if a little green man pops out of me, I'm shooting first and asking questions later.
You are on the verge of destroying the entire universe.
Welcome to the Strange Podcast with Sam and Logan.
If you enjoy the show, please go to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you're listening, and please give us a good rating. If you want to share a story or have ideas for a future episode, you're welcome to visit us at www.thestrangepodcast.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is The Strange Podcast, and this is episode 21. I'm Logan Marks.
And I'm Sam Baxter. Today's March 7th, 2018.
Ooh, 2018.
Yep, another...
What a year, what a year.
I know. So far it's been going good, I guess, right?
How many months have you been? Were you three months into the 2018? It's doing all right.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
Yeah, how's everything been going with you? How's your job and your life?
It's pretty good. Work is pretty fun. There's a lot of cool people there, and everyone's doing well. How about you?
Not bad. I've work's been busy. Had a lot of stuff to do. Sometimes work can be too busy, and it's not as fun. Yeah, but you get over it, and that's why you get the paycheck, right?
Work hard for your money.
Yeah, I'm fucking slaving myself. I'm pimping myself out just to make monies. No, it's been going all right. We've been busy trying to learn new stuff, trying to stay relevant in the technology field. It's a never-ending game, but that's what we got to do.
That's a tough one because you got to keep changing everything up.
Yeah, you got to evolve, man. Definitely got to evolve. Things are always changing in technology, and so as they change, you either get left behind or you evolve with them. And by evolving with them, at least you're able to keep a job. So, got to keep that check coming.
Speaking of well, we're not getting paid, but we probably should be.
No.
Hopefully getting paid.
If we were good enough, we'd be getting paid. How about that? Maybe if we're good enough, we'd be getting paid, but,
Maybe one day. We should get into the news here.
All right.
The strange news.
Let's get some strange news.
It's time for Strange News.
I got something here. I thought was pretty funny.
Okay, what do you got?
A 14-year-old Victoriaville boy pretended to be a sheriff's deputy was arrested after investigators said he drove around in a Ford Explorer equipped with blue and red flashing lights, launching phony investigations, pulled people over, and they found counterfeit money and simulated firearms and fake ballistic vest and other law enforcement related items in his home. So,
how did a 14-year-old boy look like a grown man? What is he, like 6'8"?
I guess he's a pretty tall kid. Like they have some video of him pulling somebody over.
Yeah. he's all like basketball star.
And he had like and he had like the full uniform. He looked legit. And then like his vehicle, he had the lights and everything on there.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically he was driving around. He was like acting like he was fielding domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
Phone call, like people were calling for domestic violence, and so he would show up and the people were like, I don't know who you are, and he's like, well, I just came by to see if everything was okay, blah blah blah. So he was doing that, and then he was pulling people over, giving them like fake tickets. He pulled over somebody and we're giving them warnings.
Giving them warnings?
Yeah. And then when they finally caught him, they found out that the Ford Explorer belonged to his great grandmother.
What the fuck?
So he took his great grandmother's car, Ford Explorer, and basically souped it up so it looked like a cop's car. He was driving around pretending to be a cop.
Holy shit! So when they caught him, did they arrest his ass? Like, what'd they do?
Yeah, he got arrested. He was booked into the High Desert Juvenile Detention Center.
Holy shit!
So they have it. So detectives are searching for people. If you're a victim of of this crime, to call in, so they can know who else he was messing with.
Oh man, that's
pretty ballsy for 14 years old.
That's definitely ballsy, man. This he seems like a big kid and. Fuck, what is he, like Bo Jackson? Remember Bo Jackson, the athlete? That motherfucker was big. He was like beating up like high schoolers.
He doesn't even look that big though. I mean, he's tall, but he's kind of scraggly.
Oh shit. Damn, that's pretty fucked up. Well, I got a kind of fucked up story too. So, in Taiwan, This is some kind of fucked up news and kind of worrisome news, so brace yourself, peoples. But in Taiwan, they're facing catastrophic toilet paper shortage. So,
Oh shit.
yeah, that's right. Oh shit, you better not be shitting, because across Taiwan's major cities, consumers are in a near panic over a shortage of one of the modern life's basic necessities, toilet paper. So they're saying that the prices could skyrocket because toilet paper, they're running out of it, and they're asking if it goes up, are you prepared? Because obviously everybody wants or needs toilet paper, right?
That's so like. How much is it gonna be? Did they say like how high it would go up?
Prices could increase 10 to 30%. These guys are like running out. They're probably gonna have to start importing. So whoever imports these guys will probably make some money off some shit like this, off their shit. Actually,
You're gonna have some. They're gonna have some black market toilet paper.
I know. I know. It's all like made out of weeds and leaves and shit.
They're gonna have like imagine some guy like in a trench coat, he's all pulling over with all these toilet paper rolls on there. You want to buy some toilet paper?
You want to buy some? You know what people are gonna have to start doing? They're gonna have to start buying newspapers. They're gonna. Dude, I bet newspaper prices will go up high because everyone's gonna be using that to shit.
Start investing in newspaper companies.
I know. Man, you probably make some good money if that happened. So I guess the price increases stem in part from the supply disruptions in short fiber pulp after forest fires in Canada and production problems in Brazil. So because of those, because of those countries, you know, they're getting screwed with this toilet paper. All I gotta say is, man, invest in baby wipes. Baby wipes are better than toilet paper.
Baby wipes.
Yeah. Invest in baby wipes, man. You won't need to buy no toilet paper. So,
I guess a lot of people are using baby wipes now.
they are.
Well, it gets to the point where because people are too stupid, I guess, and they start flushing.
Yeah.
In bigger cities, they're flushing the baby wipes down the toilet, and it's like this big deal where people are.
Oh, it's like clogging up the toilets.
Yeah, it's clogging up the sewage lines and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Like on the baby wipe package, it says don't flush more than one at a time. But I'm pretty sure people need like fucking 4 or 5. You know.
Well, I don't even think you're supposed to flush them at all. You're supposed to like toss them.
No, it says you don't flush more than one at a time is what it says.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you can flush them. There's some that are made for flushing, and there's some that are not.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, there's some that are like degradable that'll break down.
Yep. And some that they probably want you to just throw away. Yeah, but in Taiwan, you know, I don't know. Maybe they might have to invest in newspapers if they don't want that silky cool wetness of baby wipes. They might need to get some newspapers, and they're gonna have a problem, I guess, in the near future.
Or a bidet in your middle finger.
Yeah, bidet. Hey, I heard those are pretty good. You ever use one of those?
I actually have one. Yeah.
Oh, you do? Is it pretty good?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little sprinkle on your butt. It makes it easier to clean off stuff.
So it's pretty good then?
Yeah, I like it.
I've heard they're pretty good. I've never got to use one, so.
It just basically squirts water up your ass.
Ooh, tickles.
So like during the winter, it's like all super cold because I don't have one that's like shoots out warm hot water.
Shit!
It just shoots out, yeah. So like,
So your
I don't
ass
use
is
it during the
cold.
winter.
Literally, your ass is cold.
Got shit shingles hanging from my back.
Yeah. Oh shit. So besides shit, what else do you got?
Well, I got something kind of weird here. It's kind of sad, but it's kind of Darwin Award. A curious fisherman who went to inspect why his homemade fish bomb failed to detonate in a river was seriously injured when the explosion suddenly went off. So basically, he threw the bomb in there. When he waited for it to explode and it didn't go off, so he decided, out of curiosity, he went closer to inspect the bomb.
Oh fuck!
Then when he did that, that's when the bomb blew up.
Oh. You know, I remember being kids and, you know, fireworks when they didn't go off. You didn't want to check them, but since we paid for them, it's like, man, let's go see if that thing works. You know, it's like, we got to get our money's worth to make sure that thing blows up somehow. And then you get close to it, and then you see a spark, and you're like, oh shit, run! And that thing would blow.
Well, I don't know why he was like using a bomb to fish though.
Well, haven't you heard of people using like dynamite to fish? I mean, that's illegal.
Yeah, I've heard of people. Yeah, I've heard people use dynamite to fish, but it's kind of stupid.
Yeah, man, I don't know. You know, some people like dynamite and TNT, and he said, fuck it. I don't want to waste my time, you know, with the line and hook, you know. But I guess he you know, he paid for that shit. So did you say he's all right?
Yeah, he's alright. He's just he's in a coma in the hospital
shit.
right now.
Oh, fuck. No, man. I remember being young and my older brother and we would throw fireworks in our shed, like with those black cats. You remember those black cats?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean those were, you know, they didn't light real fast. You could just light them and you threw them. They're just like a good pop. And I remember we were just chucking them in there, and I remember I was throwing them pretty hard. I remember I just for some reason I said, "Hey man," I was like 8 years old. This is how much balls we had back in the day. But I remember like 7 or 8 years old. I'm like, hey, my back's warm. Is something there? He's like, your shirt's on fire. Well, I've been cocking my arm back so far that the sparks got on my shirt. They were getting on my shirt. And my shirt was on fire. It was burning up as I was wearing it. I was like, oh fuck. So
your shirt caught on fire?
My shirt caught on fire from the sparks of the black cats, you know, because we were just throwing mats. We were throwing all kinds of them. And eventually, like I was like I said, I was cocking my arm so far back that it was just the sparks were getting on my shirt, and it just caught it on fire.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Did it burn the whole shirt? Or just,
no, it made a good hole. The shirt wasn't good anymore because it'd been burning, and I'm just like, hey, is something warm on my back or what? And he's like, your shirt's on fire.
I remember one time we had we were doing those bottle rocket fights. Mm-hmm. Where you run around and you light the bottle rockets and shoot them at each other.
Yep.
And then I remember one time we were like in groups, and one of the other guys, we were like in the woods, and the other guys were in this like patch of wood with bushes and stuff. And I had the bottle rocket, and I'm like, and we knew they were in there, but we didn't know exactly where they were at because we can hear them kind of talking and stuff. Yeah. I launched a bottle rocket at them. I just in the general direction because I didn't know where they were going to be. And I heard it. It takes off, and then you hear it. And then you hear ah, and so it was like, because it was one of our younger cousins, and he was probably like 13 at the time. Yeah, we would follow the stream down to go see where he was at, and when we got there, like his ass was smoking, so like the jeans of his ass was smoking, like it wasn't on fire, but it was like smoking. And then because the other group that was with him, they were all looking at him. They're like, "What do we do?" Because they were about his age too. Yeah. So they threw him on the ground, and everybody was like kicking, jumping on his ass to put it out. And he was just on the ground screaming, "No, stop!" And then like we finally finished stomping on him. He got up and he had this big old hole like right in the middle of his ass. His jeans were like burnt.
Hole in one.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I felt pretty bad, but you know, it's like I didn't even think I was going to be able to hit him.
Oh yeah, I mean, it sounds like a 1 in a million shot.
That's basically what it was.
That's what I'm saying. Right in the ass.
Yeah. We got deep shit when we got back home because he was like, my pants, and they're like, we just bought you those pants. And
yeah, they're all brand new, of course. They're all his Sunday's best. It's all his church pants and shit. He's
trying on his church pants.
Don't ruin this shit. Those pants were good enough to have been married in.
I know, you were going to get married in those pants. Those are your best ones that you have. So what do you got now?
I got a weird story. This is kind of odd. But an alleged time traveler from the year 2030 claims he met himself from 40 years in the future. And the two versions of themselves they did a video interview. So here's the situation. The guy, he's a time traveler from 2030, and he met his 2070 self. Okay.
So he went into the future and met.
No. The guy from 2070 came back to him. So they're both here right now. 2030 came back to 2008, and 2070 came to 2008, and they met each other.
Okay.
So they did an interview together. It's kind of weird because they said they can't go into any explicit details about the future, right? Of course, that'll ruin everything, right?
Of course not.
Yeah. But the guy from 2030, he believes that the guy from 2070 is his future because He says, and I quote, he showed a bunch of personal information. He said a bunch of things about what I did. He said all the sequence of events and stuff since I came back from 2017. He said everything that I did, and this is the type of stuff that someone would have to stalk me my whole life to figure out, unquote. So he's saying that this guy knew stuff about him that was like almost impossible to get, I guess. He didn't say what it was.
Stuff you couldn't find on Facebook.
Exactly, right? Yeah, he was at the beach in 2016 in Barbados, and that guy knew about it. Oh, how did he know? But so they asked him, like, why was there no time paradox? You know the time paradox. You're not supposed to beat yourself, and they explained that the future self explained that time travelers have microchips that prevent them from saying things that can change a sequence of events. So that's how the time paradox allegedly is evaded, by these microchips. But he did give some predictions.
Yeah, what do you have to say?
He says that here's his future predictions. Current U.S. President Donald Trump will be reelected in the year 2020.
That's something we could see.
Yeah,
if it's
yeah, it's totally possible. Phones are going to start getting bigger towards the year 2030.
Phones?
Phones, yes. Phones.
Are going to get bigger?
Gonna get bigger.
Like, turn into like television?
I don't know, man. I guess. He says robots that can run a home are being slowly introduced. So could that be like Alexa, stuff like that? He says Bitcoin is being used more, but money, including pennies, are still in use. Another one, global warming issues have increased and Northern America is now hotter, while Europe is colder. Humans fly to Mars in 2028, the same year that time travel is made public. 2028, boys and girls, mark down your calendar. In 10 years from now, time travel is going to be made public.
So everybody will be able to use it?
I don't know if they're going to be able to use it, or if it's just going to be just saying, hey, maybe the rich elite can do it. Who knows? Or maybe you need to have some sort of DNA that allows it. I don't know. He didn't say. But it's just going to be made public. Like, hey, this is, we can time travel now. Another prediction, electric cars can travel at 600 miles an hour. That could be pretty cool, but that could be also dangerous, right?
I don't know why you'd want to drive 600 miles an hour.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's fucking... I'm not sure what type of roads will fucking handle that. That's all I gotta say.
Unless it's a flying car.
Yeah. What if it's windy, though? Fuck. Who knows? This is a good one. Some diseases have been cured, including some forms of cancer.
Oh yeah.
And the last prediction he had was artificial intelligence will be huge by 2021, and a popular device which will look like Google Glasses but have the processing power of today's computers will take over.
So this is like stuff that you could just like look at today's news and like figure out on your own.
Yeah, this is
global warming is happening.
Exactly. I know. And then you can say things that you can't really dispute or really argue with about time travel. I mean, who's going to say that can't happen, right? There's no way.
Yeah.
You can't really argue that either. Obviously, cars will probably travel 600 miles an hour at some point in human existence, right? And there's a 50-50 chance that Trump could win the election again. So,
yeah, I mean,
right?
He could run again, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing here that's really concrete, or I wish he would have said something like fucking the Yankees will lose the World Series for the next 5 years in a row. Something a little more concrete, right?
An almanac.
Yeah, exactly, like some sports.
Almanac.
Yeah, something. Give us something definitive. Tell us something real.
I don't know if from the future ever brings back anything like solid.
They don't. It's like, why are you even here? Why are you even announcing yourself?
I know.
What's the fucking point? I mean,
what good are you?
Yeah. But then, think about it. What if you got time travel and you went back to like 1985? I mean, and that stuff you do can affect what happens now. Would you be willing to do it? You may never meet your wife now. You can make a difference where you don't meet your wife. Maybe your parents never meet. Are these chances you're gonna take?
I don't know. It's like if you go back, I mean,
if we're talking like Back to the Future, you can fuck things up. But if you talk about how there's different branches of time travel, where everything just splinters off and there's not just one timeline.
What timeline? Yeah, there's a bunch of different timelines. So it really doesn't matter, because if you go back, then you would cease to. If you mess that up, then you would cease to exist.
Yeah, you'll just.
So you wouldn't be able to go back time to begin with. So
you can make like endless parallel ones, right? You can make endless parallel, right? And if you could find your original one, then I guess it wouldn't be a problem.
Would that make going back in time more difficult? Because like you don't.
Well, say you go back to 1985 January 1st at 10 a.m. and you go, and when you first get there, you go and beat the shit out of your dad, right? Something, and then you make a new timeline. Could you always go back to January 1st, like at 9:55, and stop yourself?
Stop yourself from doing it?
Yeah. Could you do that? Could you go back before then, before that timeline? If it always branches off, was there ever a fixed point where everything's normal until that one spot? Is that January 1st, 10 a.m.? Is that the spot where everything changes? So then at the next time you can decide to...
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know, right? Dude, I'm not trying to be... Obviously, I'm not a genius at this. I'm not smart enough to understand how all this works. But there's just so many type of instances that could happen, right? Or, like I said, if it's like Back to the Future, there's only one fucking timeline. You know? And whatever you affect back there... Up. Yeah. But that's weird.
Yeah, but they could... But you can still know, because when he went back, he made different timelines.
Well, I was gonna say in part 2 they did. Remember, he made a parallel one. Biff did. But
yeah,
but if you remember
I mean, that would be the same principle in the first one.
Well, the first one, he went back to that timeline and he was ruining his future. But on part 2, Biff went back in time and made an alternate one by adjusting his past. So and it almost like it contradicted themselves, because in the first one there was like only one line. And remember, if his parents didn't meet, then him and his brother and sister would not be married, but not be born. Mm. But in the second one, when Biff went back in time, he had his dad killed, which means he shouldn't have been born. But yet it made an alternate parallel one. They were all born, but he killed them like after they were born, and so all that happened different was that Biff became rich. The mom was with Biff, and he was the stepson. Mm. He was like some fuck up stepson. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So it almost I remember Doc explaining it, but it just. It almost kind of contradicted the first one. I don't know, man. Time travel's so weird.
No, I'm just confused, and I don't want to go anywhere back in time now.
I know. So what do you got? Anything good next?
I got a man and a woman in New York City suburbs were arrested Friday after a woman allegedly dumped a container of popcorn on a 2-year-old who was talking during the show of Star Wars. So basically, The Last Jedi is a terrible movie that makes people go crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was that movie so shitty that she just dumped the popcorn on some 2-year-old? Like, fuck this movie.
She's just angry.
Yeah. Decided to take it out on a 2-year-old or what? What was the reasoning for that?
The 28-year-old mother had taken her young daughter to a movie theater in Levittown, Long Island. Police say, when the little girl asked for some popcorn during the PG-13 flick. A woman sitting next to the girl allegedly verbally attempted to quiet the 2-year-old. All she said was popcorn. She didn't even say the full sentence. The mother says the girl's mother told the woman not to talk to her daughter. Police said at which point the woman allegedly started screaming and cursing at the pair before covering the girl's mouth with her hand.
The woman covered the girl's mouth?
Yeah, like they trying to quiet her down.
Fuck.
The woman then allegedly proceeded to dump popcorn all over the 2-year-old's head and hit her with the empty container. Police said.
Oh shit!
I know, with it crazy. The little girl reportedly reportedly started to cry, and the woman and the man that she was with reportedly took off from the theater.
Fuck yeah, they did. They fucking bailed, man.
The doctor examined the 2-year-old after she had after she said she had hurt her head and determined that she had a contusion. So basically, they got charged, and they were issued appearance tickets. Why would you throw popcorn on a 2-year-old kid's head?
She was probably. Can you imagine if like that little girl was like probably like a 10-year-old or a grown man? She would have probably like punched him. If this woman's getting so mad at a 2-year-old that she's trying to cover her mouth and then throws throws popcorn at her in the bucket at her head, this woman's got problems, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then,
I mean,
like her boyfriend or whatever was there too, and he wasn't even trying to like pull her off or anything.
We've all been to a movie when people have kids there, and you feel like the kids shouldn't be there.
Yeah, you know. But I can understand.
You don't have the kids.
Yeah, it's a little annoying and stuff, but man, I would never throw popcorn at a little kid.
No. Shut that kid up, goddammit. Well, my last story is this is a little kind of fucked up, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Man has 7-inch plastic toy removed through his penis after instrument got stuck in his bladder.
Ugh, that sounds awful.
This is horrible. So doctors discovered a 7-inch plastic sex toy stuck in the bladder of a man who came to the hospital when he started peeing blood. So the unnamed patient, reportedly in his 30s, refused to see a doctor for more than 2 days after getting the toy lodged. He did visit the doctor. He told them he got in trouble while engaging in, quote, urethral play.
Urethral play?
Yeah, this guy was stuffing this shit up his junk all the way up the tube. Yeah, and he was stuffing it in like to play, like to give himself pleasure. I don't see how that could be pleasurable, but he got it stuck in there. He went too far.
Yeah, he did go too far.
Yeah, so they ended up, they removed the toy, which had already caused inflammation and blood in his urine, but he was discharged from the hospital and expected to make a full recovery. So the doctor wanted to remind the public to properly sanitize sex toys and make use of lubricants in order to avoid serious surgery.
What kind of toy is that they stick in there? What is that?
So hold on, this is the end of this. Is the hospital says it has received similar cases in the past, with patients' items such as ballpoint pens and cables up their penises. Others have also been admitted with golf balls and light bulbs stuck up their anuses, the hospital added. So this place, man, they got some fucking freaks there, man.
Well, yeah, when I worked in the hospital for a little bit, we every once in a while we'd get a case where somebody would stick something up their ass. One time this guy stuck like I don't know how he got it, like the tip of a canister, like, you know, like a spray can. Like a spray can, you know, the tip where you push down. I don't know if he was putting the whole can up there, but he got like that little tip stuck up there.
What, in his ass?
Yeah, so we had to take an X-ray of it, and it was.
Holy shit, man! It makes me think of. Do you remember? I think it was one of like the Jackass movies. They had one of that Steve-O had on purpose like put a little toy car in his ass. And he went to the doctor on purpose. Because he wanted to know what the reaction of the doctor would be. And the doctor was like fucking freaked out and shit. It was like a toy. It was like a little toy Mattel car in his ass.
Yeah, you'll be surprised how often that does happen. People just come in with like crazy shit up their ass.
Damn, but these guys are getting it in their dicks. That's
I'd never seen that before.
That doesn't sound very appealing to me. That's not what place it's appealing. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go on to the next story because I just can't imagine.
All right, what do you got?
That was kind of a painful story.
Get us off that one. Get us off that bullshit.
So in Lakewood, Colorado, a Lakewood family bought a box of Quaker 100% natural granola cereal from a Littleton Walmart. They sat down to go eat it. All the family was eating the cereal, and when they looked at the box, they noticed that it said February 22nd, 1997 was the expiration date on it.
Okay. So what year is this? What year were they eating this?
In 2018. So the husband, the wife said she had about 2 bites and she was like, this doesn't taste right. But this was before they realized the date on there. But the husband, I guess, ate like the whole bowl.
He's like, this is some good shit.
This is real good. Yeah. So he ate the whole bowl, and then they discovered that it was like 21 years old, and so they go online to look at the boxes, and the box didn't look anything like the modern day boxes. It looked like a box.
Yeah, it was 21 years ago.
From 1997.
Yeah. Of course, the boxes have changed. So what they do? Did they end up like calling the company or anything?
Yeah, so basically
calling the store?
They call the store and they're waiting for the response back from Walmart and PepsiCo.
Oh shit! How the hell did they sell that, man?
So do
you realize that some people buy shit like on Amazon that are like 20 years old, like for an expensive price, and these guys got it for fucking probably rollback prices at $2.89 or something.
Well, I just wonder why was that sitting there? If it's like 21 years old, how is it still there?
I don't know. That's a good question. Like, what pallet did they take it from?
He just kept getting pushed to the back. No, we'll just put this one in.
I know. We'll saw it
somebody will buy it.
Yeah. That's so weird, man. I got a quick story. Like, when I was working one time at a grocery store that was not high class. One time, I was working there. I was bagging groceries. This is a long time ago. And some lady came in. She's fucking pissed. She's like, fuck. She goes, I bought this tuna fish here. It's the worst ever. And she was mad. She was pissed off at me. Like it wasn't my fault, but she was, she was showing her anger towards me. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I said, let me go get the manager. She's like, yes, get him now. So the manager comes and he's like, hey, what's going on? I said, she's like, I bought this tuna fish here. It's horrible. It tastes horrible. She goes, you guys shouldn't be selling this type of product. And the guy's like, well, I'm sorry. Can I see it? And she's just going off like, this is the worst product ever. And I'm going to write to the consumers and I'm going to tell corporate about this. And, this is the worst. And she's just like going off, just so mad. And she's making a scene in front of everyone, right? Because this is in the front of the grocery store. Yeah. And we're just there like, I'm just kind of there. I'm a young kid. I'm just like, oh, fuck, man. This lady's pissed. And he's like, well, ma'am, I'm sorry. Well, we'll give you a complete refund. I'm totally sorry. And she's like, she's just going off. Like, she's mad. She wants to know everyone to know how bullshit this food is here.
Yeah, she's getting angry.
She's just fuming. And he's just like, ma'am, can I please have the product? I'll give you a full refund. And, we'll get you something else that you want, whatever you need. And she was just so mad. She finally, like, flings, like, the bag at him. Like, practically, like, almost hits him with it. She's so mad. And so he he opens it up. And he checks it out. And he goes, ma'am, this is tuna-flavored cat food. And everyone just kind of stops and looks at her. And she's like, she just fucking walks out the store, doesn't say a thing, just fucking leave. We're just like, oh shit.
Oh god! After all that shit she made.
Yeah, she made a big old stink, trying to get everybody to listen, everybody to fucking check it out. And it was all on her. Fucking tuna flavored cat food. Of course it tastes like shit.
That's horrible.
I know, she was so mad when he did that. Her face like dropped, but you could tell she was fucking pissed.
She was like, oh shit.
Kind of like, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you? That's the look she had, like, how dare you? How dare you shame me? It's like, bitch, you're the one who brought everybody else in this. You had to get everybody to look and listen. You're the one one who had to get it. Yeah, it was you. Man, you could have had your shame and quietness. And
I know, she could have just got her money back and that was it.
Yeah. Or he could have just told the manager, like, hey, should have favored. She would have been like, oh shit, just walked out. No. So that day, justice was served.
Justice was served. Yeah. Served in a cat dish.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we're gonna be talking about the Denver airport conspiracy theory. Stay tuned for that.
So there's been a lot of weird and conspiratorial talk about the Denver International Airport. So they say this place is like kind of weird. It's kind of odd. It's not really a normal type place. Like, it has like weird art and weird type of statues and things around the airport. So this airport opened February 28th, 1995. And it's 53 square miles, which is like twice as large as like the next airport in the United States. And what's odd is it's like 6 miles away from from another airport in Denver, and it's fully functional. But so there's like no reason to build this one, which was kind of weird. And it was like basically privately funded. And to this day, nobody knows, I guess, who totally funded it completely. Like they've kind of heard of like maybe some names here and there, investors, but they don't really know who funded all this money. So the weird part is the money went it went $2 billion over budget, not 2 bill, and the final price of it was $4.8 billion. So for a private person or a group to fund this, that's a lot of money. After it was completed, the airport didn't open to the public until 16 months after it was completed. Mm-hmm. So the speculations grew regarding the high costs. So stuff like this, and like I was saying, things that are there, led to conspiracy talk. So some of the weird things about the place is there's like a blue statue, like a Mustang. It's like a Mustang statue out front, and it's kind of like, you know, rearing up, but it's also known has an AKA name as Blucifer.
Blucifer?
Yeah, because this is a 30-foot statue, which is like 9,000 pounds. It's like a demonic-looking horse with illuminated red eyes. And they say it's supposed to be cursed, right? I'm not saying any of this is true. I'm just telling you what investigation I did. Okay. It's supposed to be cursed. So the guy who made it, his name was Luis.
I'm looking at the picture right now. That is a scary ass horse.
Yeah, right. Isn't Lucifer kind of scary?
It looks like it's like half. Like it looks like a half skeleton. And
yeah, it doesn't look like a normal horse, like a peaceful horse or anything.
It looks like a demon horse.
Yeah. So the one who constructed it, his name was Luis Jimenez. In '93, he was constructing it, and the head fell on him and ended up killing him. People believe he represents this Lucifer represents the fourth horseman of the apocalypse, which in my last show that I talked about was like death. Remember the Grim Reaper, death.
Yeah.
So nobody knows why this weird, scary-looking horse is the symbol of the airport. It's nobody has any idea. So, granted, I understand football, the Denver Broncos, that's their logo, that's their mascot. But this thing does not look like the Bronco horse from the logos. So that's the only thing I can think of that would be close enough why they would have a horse there and it would make any sense.
Yeah.
But other than that Blucifer looks kind of freaky. So there's also like a dedication stone there. So it's a little weird, this dedication stone. It has a Freemasons logo on it. So those people who don't know, just real quickly, the Freemasons are like an old, private, and powerful society that's it's rumored to have existed like back even towards the Middle Ages. So the dedication stone is March 19th, 1994. So again, if you're into the conspiracies, just take in the numbers of that, 1994. If you add, like, if you do the math, if you do 1 and 9 for 19, you get 10. And 1994, if you add all the numbers, you get 23. And if you add the 10 plus 23 is 33. Okay. Well, 33 is the highest level you can obtain as a Freemason. So, yeah, so people kind of think like this is, you know, again, it has a Freemason logo on it. They think that in the event of like some worldwide catastrophe, they believe that the Freemasons have this airport as it's like a bunker or a sanctuary.
Oh, like a fallout shelter kind of thing?
Yeah, something like that. The stone also lists like the New World Airport Commission as a contributing group. Well, there's no New World Airport Commission in existence. There's like no commission or any group or sect or anything called that. There's also some weird like there's like some, not weird, but there's also a message regarding a time capsule beneath the stone. And it's supposed to contain messages and memorabilia for the people of Colorado for 2094. So it's weird. It's like 100 years after this dedication was dated. It's supposed to be some weird time capsule under there. Again, nobody knows what's in there because probably the people who paid for this put it in there, but nobody knows who that is. The bunker that I was talking about is there's allegedly a huge bunker under the airport. And it's supposed to allegedly contain the world's largest network of underground tunnels. So nobody knows what these tunnels are for. They say that before construction began, like a 5 multi-story building was buried beneath the airport site. So I think there's like 5 stories of tunnels down there. And that's why they think a lot of the reason they think the airport was delayed was because, you know, having to get this in the ground, underground. So there's no really confirmation that that's down there. There was one guy who was an ex-employee who said that is down there. But There's no way for anybody public to get down there. There's like lots of locked doors around the airport. Obviously, right? I mean, there's security. They have locked doors. But people claim that it might lead down to the bunker. But the general public's never been down there. So it's just like a rumor again. They think it's supposed to be like a safe area for the elite in the event of an apocalypse or world calamity. I don't know if you remember in 2011, there was that doomsday comet. It was known as C2010X1, or it was also called Elenin. Mm-hmm. So this comet narrowly avoided hitting Earth. But I don't know if you remember President Obama back then. He was moved to Denver during that event. And it was like speculated that he... What's that?
Is that right? He was moved. They moved him there.
Yeah, he was moved to Denver during that event, and as they speculated that he was moved to the bunker as a just-in-case scenario. So, the airport says that the tunnels are used for like airport network rail system, but the rail system that's there now is not big enough for the 5 stories and levels of the bunker. So it sounds like people think it sounds like just a front. Okay. The murals. There's 4 murals I'm going to talk about. They're really weird. So the first mural tells a story about like the New World Order taking over the world after a large bio war. It, like destroys all mankind, civilization, everything, animals. So the first mural shows like a green soldier wearing a gas mask. He's like wielding an AK-47 and he's got a sword. And it looks like the sword is stabbing a dove, and the dove is like, the symbol for peace, right? Mm-hmm. And behind him, in his wake, it's like he's leaving. There's like smoke or gas, something that's coming from behind him. Remember, he's wearing a mask, and there's like a number of weeping mothers and babies that are left behind him. And underneath his footing, there's like it shows like children sleeping in rubble. It looks like destruction's occurring. Things are dying. So the second mural shows like a burning forest and the children of the world crying over like 3 large open coffins. So it's almost like the middle coffin like represents like Mother Nature's. The woman in there looks like it represents Mother Nature. Bodies of dead animals in her coffin, and it's lined with flowers. Some of the people standing there like looking over here, there's a few kids there, and one of them looks like a Mayan girl holding a calendar. Like, remember the 2012 calendar was supposed to represent the end of the world?
Yeah.
But the Mayans also spoke of like a new beginning, right? Like a rebirth. And so there's also a couple animals that are like in a sealed off like glass box. And so they're thinking like everything that's not in that will probably die. They're being held like almost like a Noah's Ark type thing. Mm-hmm. Like some of the animals are being contained and saved there for the future, for the rebirth.
Oh, okay.
So the third mural, another mural that I'm going to talk about, shows like the end of the war. It shows like the children are handing in all the flags and weapons, and they're like from all the countries. They're like handing in all their stuff, and it looks like they're giving it to like a German boy, and he has like a mallet, and he's like destroying the stuff. That's almost like the German is the savior, and it seems like to like the dissolving of the world's nations, like the war is ending. And you can see below them the soldier from that mural I was talking about with the mask and everything. He's now dead. He's like down on the floor dead, and 2 doves sit on top of his body, like his like peace is coming now. The death is now gone. Peace is coming. And there's like also a gravestone at the bottom corner, and it has like words on it that say war, violence, and hate. And maybe it symbolizes like that these types that war, violence, and hate are dying or gone. They're no longer going to occur. They're now in the past, just like the soldier, right?
Yeah.
And like the last mural that I'm going to talk about is like it's almost like a Garden of Eden type of picture. Mm-hmm. So the children in the world are like they're all gathered around like a flower that's blooming, and it seems to be like this plant is like blooming again. It shows like rebirth, and all the children are around are like happy, and it shows that behind them like it shows different environments again that are back alive. Like one of them's like a forest, another one's like a desert, another one's like an ocean. It looks like civilization and a new beginning. Things are becoming alive again, right after all the destruction and death. Things are coming back full circle. So like a new beginning. the end of dread and death are gone, and people think maybe this is like the New World Order taking over after the apocalypse, right? They're gonna go down under the tunnels and hide, while everyone else just kind of suffers and dies. And then when it's all over, maybe all the gas, all the death is gone, they're gonna come out and rule again, is what they think. Maybe that's why they're gonna go to the Denver airport down in the tunnels, because they'll be like, it's like a full sanctuary down there. It can be, and it can house things. There's also rumors that it could also be like a concentration camp. It could be for a concentration camp for the future, for a war. If we have to put, if enemies have to be put down there, like in Auschwitz or something, they could also be used for that. I guess it's supposed to be enormous down there, and it can house many different things. Full New World Order down in that bunker area, in that whole airport. Also, like if you look at the airport top view, like the runways and stuff, it looks like a swastika. So it's almost like the people there are like pro-German or something. Like I said, that German kid is like the savior. He's the one that's helping everyone's going to him, and he's the one that's like cleaning things up or whatever. He's like the savior, the leader or whatever. And so a lot of people don't understand why these pictures are even there. Like when people are like, I was reading online and stuff that people, when they go there, like, what the fuck is this? Like why are these even here?
Yeah, like when you look at them, they're really strange, and
they don't make any sense. There's like,
they don't make any sense.
I mean, I shouldn't say they don't make any sense, but I mean, for an airport, like, why would you have these type of depictions and pictures and death and mass death? It's like world death. It's showing like basically like world death. Like everyone's gonna die, and then those who survive will end up coming out to an Eden, to a new life, a happy life. Everyone will be happy. We'll restart things, and I'm sure you read about like New World Orders. They allegedly want to like kill off populations. Get people down to 6%, because this planet's becoming too overpopulated.
Yeah,
and we can't sustain it with what all the resources that we use. So I have read things where they say that there's some societies that want to kill off a good 94% of the people,
good portion of the population.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it comes in some type of big catastrophic calamity, or maybe some pathogen, some influenza. Who knows? But these are all rumors, and they always wonder, like, if whoever's going to be in charge of it, behind it, they have to save themselves, right? They have to put themselves somewhere. So a lot of people feel like maybe this airport in Denver could house it. Again, like I said, allegedly Obama went there, and when that comet almost came and hit us, so they think it could be legit. Again, nobody that's just a regular citizen has ever been down there and has ever seen any of that. So again, if there's no pictures, there's no proof, you can't really believe it.
Yeah, it's all just conspiracy theory, but it's an interesting conspiracy theory. I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, and those pictures, they're just kind of creepy. And then Lucifer, I don't understand why he's there. And then the Freemason, like the symbols on the dedication stones.
Yeah,
that's like. I mean, that's there, man. That's there. You can't deny that.
Yeah, this is a lot of weird shit there for an airport. But then again, I've seen other airports with like weird stuff too, like just like weird art that people put up. So
I get that. Yeah, I get that. I just think that these are kind of weird.
I've never seen anything like this kind of cryptic, where it's like there's like a really menacing meaning behind it almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when you see them,
it is, doesn't it?
Yeah, like when you see them, you're just kind of like, something doesn't feel right.
Like it's not even weird art. It's like it's wrong art.
Yeah, like it's
not even
almost like it's propaganda.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. And for some reason, the people, there's a lot. The people had to, like the mayor and a bunch of people on the boards had to agree to allow this in there, right? They just can't put anything in there. Mm-hmm. It's not like just the people who built it could just put in whatever they want. It had to be agreed on by a bunch of like the legislator in Colorado and stuff. Yeah. It wasn't just like some group said, "Oh, let's just put these in here." All right, I had to get by. Like I said, the mayor and everybody had to put their
stamp of approval on it. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just weird. I said, I just don't know. I said, the only thing that I could, out of all those, the only one that doesn't really, that I could see is that Lucifer is because, like I said, the Denver Broncos, their logo.
Yeah.
But this horse is just kind of weird, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen the picture. Yeah, so I don't know. This whole place is weird, and like I said, I was reading people who said they've like passed through Denver, layovers and stuff, and when they look at that stuff, they're like, this shit is weird. Like this stuff is like people who travel. Like I was reading stuff, and people who travel all the time, they're in different airports around the world, and like this is like one of the most odd ones. Mm-hmm. Like this art, and there's like does not make any sense. It doesn't go with anything in the world. like it's like you said, it's almost like propaganda type stuff. Like
yeah, it is like, pretty. It's pretty trippy.
Yeah, like is it foreshadowing something that's gonna occur? I mean,
well, if the end of the world happens, I know where I'm gonna go. So it's
if they let you in,
see if they let me in, I'll put on my Denver Bronco jersey and.
Yeah.
Get in.
Yeah, but it's like I said, it's interesting, and it's like I said, some people have heard of this, and some people haven't, and I just thought it'd be great, interesting to talk about.
Oh, that was a really interesting story. It's different.
Yeah, so who knows? Like I said, there's allegedly a bunch of bunkers around the world, where the elite will go to in the event of something catastrophic occurring. So, like you said, you might need to put on your Denver Bronco jersey and go down there. Live, damn it, live.
All right, well, we're getting about that time where we need to go. Time to go hide in our bunkers and go someplace.
Yeah, or build our bunkers.
Go build our bunkers right now.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully there's nothing to worry about.
All right. So this is another episode stamped and with our stamp of approval and done. It's time for us to go.
Right. We're not here for a long time. We're just here for a good time.
So have a good morning, evening, or night, and we'll see you next week. Until then, stay strange.
Stay strange, everyone. Bye-bye.
If you enjoy the show, please go to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you're listening, and please give us a good rating. If you want to share a story or have ideas for a future episode, you're welcome to visit us at www.thestrangepodcast.com. We look forward to hearing from you.